Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Dawn Hergott. I am the Region 6 representative for CEDAM, and I'm Brooke Bauman. Brooke, what region are you with? I apologize
Hi, everyone. I'm from Region 4.
for. And Brooke and I and Alec work on the brown bag lunches and trying to find interesting things for you guys to learn about quickly in our quick world of needing to come and go so much. But at the conference, Joe Fisher and Joe Johnson did a session on the website that Fremont Insurance has. And it was really interesting. I thought it was one of the best insurance sessions that I've gone to, and we thought this would be super helpful for all the administrators to learn about. And so I'm going to turn it over to Joe Johnson now, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joe Johnson, Fremont Insurance. We insure you and all the Michigan Association and Conservation Districts through the Fisher Agency. And part of that, we have access to you. You won't be able to find this on our website or anything like that. This is something I have to give you access to. And but it is what I refer to as a risk management platform. It's basically a lot of safety stuff in here, both workers' compensation, human resources type of forms and documents. You can build out a employee handbook from here, as well as employee safety manuals from here. And I'll just get into it and kind of show everyone what's available to you. Share my screen for you. Hopefully everyone can see that. I'll kind of zoom in on it a little bit, make it a little bit larger. This is the landing page for the Fremont Safety Suite. In it, this is how you can access everything that you want. It's up. We contract with a company called Xywave, which updates the information on here on a regular basis. One of the main things, we've had this since COVID started, and like they had updated information from government agencies, blah, 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 during COVID, and they just put it out here. Of course, a lot of that was, hand wash your packages at the time. Of course, all that got kind of pushed to the wayside. But I'm just saying, a lot of the information in here is updated continuously and is pretty contemporaneous with items that are coming out, issues. This is the landing page. A part of the landing page, like I said, it's updated on a regular basis. But the main exposure, and to give you guys access, it would be just basically like a 10 to, I don't want to say 10 minutes, but 15 minutes to half an hour Teams meeting like this, where I will make sure that you have access to the system, and then I can kind of give you a quick tutorial where everything is at. But one of the main things is this full resource library. If you go into here, this is all the information, human resources. If you have something that you're worried about, human resources perspective, it's all in here. If you wanted to type in format, if I'm looking for handbook or manual, if I click on this, this has all these site operation safety manuals, retail and wholesale employee safety manuals. There's a lot of information in here that's probably not applicable to you guys, but there's a lot of information in here as well. Like I said, the restaurant safety employee handbook, you guys probably won't need access to that. Let me see, guides and plans. There's a lot of those in here. These are, if you're looking for anything particular, I would just start putting words and phrases up here and search the content. As you can see, payment card industry, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Act, agency forms, tornado preparedness, that type of thing. Those are the guides and plans. What else do we have in here? The programs, here I go. All the programs, even though they're not my OSHA based, they're all OSHA based, and my OSHA is based on OSHA standards as well. But if you have ladder safety program, if you click on this, a lot of times it's going to ask you whether you know why English or Spanish. It's going to do the window. I don't know why it does that all the time. but this is the OSHA standard, and this is the program, which basically, if you're giving a training session to the employees, this is a real good way to start, and I think there's a test at the end of this one. Sorry. This is the review. I'm not sure. Hold on. And it's got a lot of the forms that you need to fill out if you deal with ladders on a regular basis. A lot of them do have tests involved in them too as well. Get rid of that. Window pops up. So safety program, lockout, tagout program. You're not manufacturers, but a lot of that is on there. Hearing conservation program, if you want to start that. Portable fire extinguisher, has whopper, aerial lifts, depending on what types of equipment that you guys use in your particular district. There's a form, there's a program, and there's a safety manual in here for everything. Back, like I said, I don't know if you noticed that, if you have a lot of Spanish language issues, most of these items come in both bilingual English and Spanish. Another one I kind of show people, posters. If you're looking for a particular poster, there's going to be a lot of these state involved posters, but I always show this one, the prevention of violence on the casino floor. If you're worried about your violence on your casino floor, there's a poster for that. But if you go down here, this is page 1 of 7, and a lot, caution, carbon monoxide, or caution only employees after this area, or hard hat required. A lot of posters in here and that type of thing. So there's all types of, like I said, the human resources on here, discrimination, employment. Let's see what this is. I don't click on this that often. A lot of them are state focused. So if you were to click on Michigan tab, let me get this one. That's not me, I hope.
If you guys are on and just listening, if you could mute your mics, that'd be appreciative.
There we go. Designing an employee handbook, but I'll get back into that. So there's a lot of employment stuff in here. OSHA, this is the OSHA log. Oh, shoot.
You're muted, Joe.
Mute myself now.
Yep, there
Can
you
you
are.
hear me? All right.
Yep.
Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, there is an OSHA log in here. You probably won't need that. You just got to post them on the wall if you have any recordable injuries or accidents. This OSHA log, a couple of our larger employers that we insure use it for their operations. But like I said, unless you're over 200 employees, you don't have to do that. Industries is another way to kind of look and get information about a particular industry, agriculture or I think that would be it on here. But this is basically more information in the risk or in the full resource catalog. And then we're going to get LMS is the learning management system. I probably should have popped this up real quick, but you also have access to a learning management system. Learning management system is safety videos. These are free of charge if an individual employee or employer wanted to access to this, it'd probably be $5,000 to $10,000 a year for them to have access to it. You guys have it for free. A lot of them, let me see, course management. They kind of mess this up, but a lot of them are construction safety. It used to be more highlighted than this. Oh, and this is actually, I did the wrong one. Sorry about that. That doesn't have all the make sure. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of them. General workplace safety. I don't like how they have this now, but if you look over here, these are 23 minutes. And how these are, and if you go through for just general workplace safety or AI in the workplace, acceptable use of generative AI tools. That's a new video apparently, but anti-bullying training. Excuse me. And with these videos, you assign them to the employee. They can watch them via, on their cell phone if they wanted to. You assign them through a email address, and then You can track, how many employee assignments are past due, open assignments. And if the employee watches the video, it's a learning module. So there's a test they have to take at the end of it. I think to pass it has got to be 80%. And if they don't pass it, they can watch the video again and fast forward it. They can't fast forward it the first time watching it. And then they can watch it. Like I said, if they pass the test, they complete the assignment, no problem. But if they don't complete the assignment, they can watch it, fast forward through it, and then answer the test afterwards. Here we go. That's probably better.
Joe?
Yep.
Are we limited to an amount of employees or?
No, not at all. Not at all. And actually, so there would be like whoever is the administrator that I give access to this, they're the administrator of the learning management system. However, if you have 2 employees that want access to the system, like if you have an administrator and then maybe a secretary, I'm not exactly sure how the individual districts are ran, but I can give access, like in a manufacturing operation, I would give one to access to the safety manager, the HR director, and then whoever else would want access to it, or maybe like a transportation director. And then you can assign, if you have 30 employees, you can assign 30 different employees, different videos actually too. A lot of times with the manufacturers, they'll have a set of videos for the office staff and a set of videos for the manufacturing floor staff, just because more hazards in that area and less hazards in the office area. But as you can see, these are the fire safety, chemical and environmental safety. There's one video of that, construction safety, general workplace safety here. I'll click on that. There's 27 courses in here, but there are a lot of these accident investigation for everyone. A lot of these are in Spanish as well too. Compressed air safety, electric shock. They have all the, sorry about that. They have a lot of emergency response, first aid response, that type of thing. Let's go to the second page. They used to be bigger and colorful. They are not now. So I don't know why they did this. But this seems like, ladder safety for employees, office injury prevention for employees, a lot of different categories, especially like driving. Let me see if I type in driving, how many comes up? Of course, none in there. Sorry. Oh, here we go. I'll go back to categories. I'm pretty sure it's under transportation. Transportation safety, there we go. So, defensive driving tips for transportation employees, Spanish, this is English, distracted driving, that type of thing. So there's a whole learning management system. You can just play around with it if you'd like. Like I said, you don't even have to use it. If I give you access and you just want to access the forms and that type of thing, shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Let me go back. So that's learning management. I'm sorry that's not more colorful. It usually is all different, different categories and different colors. Now they just list them for some odd reason. Go back to where it was. There we go. Okay, so that's the learning management. And then the community section, this is kind of like a little message board type of thing, mostly HR stuff, benefits, legislation, compensation, employee relations. It's there. I'm not sure how up to date it is. So if you want to look and see if there's something in there as far as a particular HR problem you're having, you can look in there. The next one is the best, I think, just as far as what is all involved. So this is the quote unquote toolbox. This has a lot of different, this is the employee handbook builder section in here. You can build out an employee handbook, and that's basically for the attendance, rules of working there, as opposed to the safety manual, which is the safe working habits for individual tasks. You can build a custom job description if you're going to be looking for a new employee, actual employee cost calculator, the HR self-assessment tool. This will basically launch a program where you click, hey, do I got this for each and every employee? Do I got a, emergency contact number for these employees, that type of thing. And it'll, assess where you're at and what items you may need in your HR file. In-person interview question builders. I haven't clicked on a lot of these things in a while, so I'm not exactly sure. But if you're, looking to hire and you got, looking to ask the right questions or have a list of the right questions to ask, definitely where to start. Total compensation statement builder. I get one of those from Fremont Insurance every year saying, in addition to the wages we paid you, we paid this out in your 401k, this out in your health benefits, death benefits, blah, blah, blah. Zywave Learning is, of course, the learning management system that we had, that I showed you back there. And then the OSHA log is another way to access the OSHA log if you wanted to electronically track your workers' compensation, your employee injuries and or illnesses, that type of thing. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I know it's kind of an overview, but there's a lot of stuff in here, and I think when we were talking, return to work is a big topic. And like these planet safeties are usually toolbox talks, that type of thing. Return to work employee contact log. I mean, sample employee. There's a lot of sample forms in here, return to work policy statements, physician authorization, return to work form letter. If you're not getting someone back on time, you could probably find the right forms in here to kind of press the issue with them going forward. Alternative ideas for, return to work, nonprofits. That's the other thing. You may not necessarily find something for your particular industry, the conservation district, but there's probably some other, landscaping. I would be another one that I would kind of search under. The nonprofits too, as well, because they have a pretty large. The nonprofits also include religious institutions, but there's a lot of overlap in a lot of the duties and that type of thing going forward. And this is page 1 of 176. So you can imagine here, if I click the next page and my internet works, sorry. Yeah, return to work agreement letter, employer to employee. So there's a lot of set standard stuff in here that you can definitely utilize to assist you. If you're looking for a particular hold harmless agreement, I'm sure that's in here. Waiver of liability is in here too as well. Yeah, here's all the alternative work duties, agriculture, construction. So you could probably find something for you in here, and it doesn't cost you guys anything. You can't break anything in here. These are basically just resources available to you. If you click view, it's going to download it. And then once it downloads, you can open it up. This is return to work for manufacturing duties, whether or not they can handle it, possible as, safety data sheet book update or organizer. Yep, you can do that if you got a back injury or lower extremity. Upper extremity possible. I'm not exactly sure why that would be possible or how it would be impossible, but and then the nose, tool sharpener, probably not a good idea for someone that's on a injury program. And then, yeah, I mean, if there's anything in particular that you're looking for, like I said, you as district leaders don't have access to it, but you have the availability to gain access to it. And then just send me an email. I'll set up a Teams meeting similar to this and kind of just walk you through everything. And then if there's anything in particular that you're looking for, I can definitely find it for you or help you out and then locate it. But there's a ton of stuff in here. If you wanted to operate a safe restaurant, I have everything in here for you to operate a safe restaurant, if that so need be, So, and there's, like I said, there's videos in the learning management system. Plus there's also videos throughout here too, as well. Probably more management, talk videos. Hey, this is what you got to do for this. Let me see. I'm just going to click on this. Sorry. They take forever to download, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can hear this now, but yeah, it's just a standard video, giving you kind of information. That's what I kind of figured as much. So yeah, that is basically the rundown. I mean, I've done this so many times. I don't know if I'm missing something that you guys are interested in particularly. If anyone wants to chime in.
Well, I have a couple questions before we open it up. I see you had like the OSHA posters. Do you have like, most of us are co-located, but there are some of us, some districts that are not. So do you have like all the legal federal posters that are supposed to be posted up? Like
Oh, yeah.
non-discriminatory, those are all in there? They could print them off?
Yeah, actually, let me do, okay, so OSHA and then type format, poster. See, there's the state poster requirement. Actually, let me just do this. Because there is a link to the, state Michigan. Okay. So if I click on this, it's going to be a PDF file.
Right.
Yeah, that. And so and these will take you to the actual individual state government. I don't know if you can see that, Michigan.gov. Yep. And so this is all the posters required. Sorry about selling me stuff here. But yeah, these are all for certain employees and all employees, research, whistleblowers, workers' disability. So, and then you could, it'll take you to the Michigan government website. Cancel. Okay. I don't want to start that open, but yeah, if you look in there, and then let me do. Sorry. Like I said, they keep on loading and loading. But yeah, if I just put in Michigan, these are all documentation just regarding to Michigan, state guide workplace safety regulation, Michigan overtime laws, Michigan compensation claims, workers' comp claim process, Michigan silica emphasis program. Yeah, motorcycle helmet laws by state. I mean, you have it all in here. Anything that's associated with Michigan is in here. And like I said, the distracted driving prevention for commercial fleets toolkit. A lot of toolkits in here that help you. Let me click out of that real quick here. Go to type format. What happens here? Oh, yeah, legalized marijuana employment toolkit, distracted prevention for commercial. Let's see, clear. I want to clear out my. Sorry about this.
All right.
Why don't I have it anymore? Did I click on something wrong? Yeah, I must have. Yeah, so there's a lot of toolkits. Yeah. I don't know why these are the only two. I thought there was more than that. I'm sorry.
There probably is. They're just buried in there somewhere. Another thing is we do a lot of field work. Do you have like field safety or first aid or? Yeah,
so let me go to that. That's probably because it's going to change, different locations. So the site operations safety manual will probably be a good place to start. The general employee, they have the landscape employee safety manual. So there's probably a lot of stuff in here. Let me just click on this. English or Spanish is my option on this one too as well. And these are all Word document forms, so you can edit them as you need it fit. There may be some certain sections in here that are not necessarily, this is for more construction, but, safety policy, these are all the different sections. This is 33 pages, safe work procedures, permit, confines, space entry. You may have it where they may, chainsaws, are part of it,
Mhm.
that type of thing. And so you could kind of put that in here. There may be another form, like I said, the landscape employees may have something about chainsaws in there as well. Let me see. I just want to check. I just look up chainsaws, common woodworking and safety hazards. These are a lot of these risk insights are just kind of toolbox talk, safety matters, summer day camp groundskeeping equipment checklist. You want a full checklist of all the equipment that they go out with, that type of thing. Logging operations, you may want to look at that too if you're cutting down trees or removing trees. There's definitely, or forestry and logging employee safety manual. That's where another one that probably has something, I hope, about chainsaws or.
There was a chainsaw safety manual.
Oh, was there? Even
Yep,
better.
I did see
Even
one.
better.
Yep.
So, and like it may take a little bit to download it. I don't know why my internet's struggling today. Well, it's hot and humid day. Well, not humid, but it's definitely hot. So anyway, long story short, yeah, you get that. Where did you see chainsaw?
Keep going.
That's all right. It's in here.
Yeah, it was
like
up
I
there.
said.
I did see chainsaw. Right
Yeah.
there, playing it safe, chainsaw safety.
Oh,
Bottom
yep, there you
left.
go. Yep. And that's going to be kind of like a little, just a toolbox talk. And if you look up toolbox talks in here, there's a ton of those as well.
Okay.
Like I said, there's a lot of information. If you say, hey, our return to work program needs some documentation, definitely go that route in it. Look at it here. Individual, site specific, I know you're probably move around, but yeah, if you want like site operations or offsite operations, or actually, there's a whole section of that, I hope. Let me see. Because you're going to be out there, but offsite employees, excavation, site operations. Oh, that's what, hold on, there we go. Right this way, remote employee. This is probably more of a remote, working from home type of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Sorry, I can't find everything that you're looking for particularly, but let me do it that way.
I see there's some onboarding, there's some HR stuff. I think
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff is super helpful. Does anybody have any questions for Joe? Just chime in if you do. Oh, Brooke does. Go ahead, Brooke.
Hi, Joe. So I went to it was back when it was Fisher Insurance with Joe Fisher years ago. And back then they were offering to review districts' employee manuals, like different policies, if we needed an extra support with that. Is that something that's still done through Fremont Insurance, or maybe not sure?
Well, I would suggest you just go through the employee handbook builder here and let me see if I can pull one up for you. ABC demo account. And so like this is basically, it'll walk you through everything, So like individual districts, if first of all, this is updated every year through Xywave. And so you can update your handbook. If you did one last year and you wanted it updated for 2026, you just have to hit update and then it'll let you know whether, if what policies have changed, federal policies and that type of thing. But, if you are in here and it'll walk you through like the basic information, company handbook, and then the handbook details, how many employees you have, and then the branding, blah, 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 whether or not you want to put your brand on it. And then the format is a handbook or anything. If I go to save, I just want to get to where the meat of it is. Oh, it's telling me I got to do something. All right. I just clicking on that just for the sake of it. And then when you go to the handbook, these are all the different, alcohol consumption, drug and alcohol testing, reporting injuries and illness, smoking policy, work safe place, safety, accident rules. And like, if I go to this, yeah, I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it basically, this is the book right here. This is the handbook, current version and the updated version. There we go. It shows you what it was and what it had been, or current version, updated version. It got updated in November of 2024 or no 2025. You can kind of see if there's any changes in that type of thing. Workplace violent prevention, drug screen, drug-free substance abuse policy. Go back. Sorry. But once you're in it, you can play around with it. So that would be the best thing, I would say. Trade secrets, inventions, anti-discrimination, pay practices, working hour, time off and leave, and employee benefits. If I start this section, this is the policy, and then you can make edits or changes, I think, to it. I wouldn't, though, because it's probably a legal form. But, harassment, religious accommodation, supervisor's responsibility, workplace harassment policy, harassment training, and there's harassment training in the videos if you wanted to get that far into it, signed videos, that type of thing. Discrimination is prohibited policy. And like the other ones, like the vacations and that type of thing, you can put in, for every 1,000 hours work, you'll get, 20 hours PTO or whatever it is for your particular district and that type of thing. So I don't necessarily go through it, but what I would say is I would go through and do a handbook here and then compare it to yours. And like I said, you have a digital copy going forward, and then you can update it every year if you need to. Let me see the next section. Yeah, it gets into the pay practices of working hours. When does your organization begin each day? And then, do you offer flex time? Do you allow employees to telecommute? I'm going to guess no. Paid holidays, then I'll go through what paid holidays you want to include, New Year's Day and that type of thing, and the pay frequency. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't necessarily look through the handbooks, but I would suggest you create a handbook through here and then compare it to yours and see if there's anything that's missing out of it.
Yes, that's helpful. Thank you. It sounds like there's a lot of tools here and we can definitely go down rabbit holes because there's just so much information.
You can. And like I said, it's kind of hard for me because I could just make practice ones through here, and just kind of say, hey, okay, well, my company starts business each day at 11 a.m., but it's kind of hard to get the whole compiled thing and compare it to what I already have because I don't have any, as far as my company, quote unquote. I do, but it's, like I said, online for the Fremont Insurance. Let me see. Yeah, these are direct deposit, hours of work, payroll, tracking time, overtime hours. Yeah, like I said, you can get into a rabbit hole, especially meal and rest breaks for minors. Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know if you guys hire anyone under 18, but there's a lot of rules and a lot of information in here with regards to youthful employees as well, too.
Well, it looks like that handbook is covering all those things that we need to know to cover.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, let me just get out of here. Yeah, introduction, work general policies. What's this one? Let's see what this one's got in it. Oh yeah, this background checks, conflicts of interest, corrective action, employee privacy policy, employment authorization verification, generative artificial intelligence usage, off-duty contact, everything, like I said, there's 27 different policies underneath this: social media policy, internet policy, telephone policy, email, business to travel, company cards. I mean, you can make a pretty thorough employee handbook. And like I said, each year you can come back. All right, save and exit. And then let me go back to And then it'll show you what a policy, last updated, and then this one I must have pulled out employee handbook post-COVID. I just I started it March of 21, and then I updated it again just earlier this year. But then it'll let you know if it needs review, and then actions, duplicate, download, request translation. You could probably request it to get translated into Spanish if you need to. And I think that goes through Zywave that will do that for you. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, it'll show if whether or not it's complete or an archive version. Like these are in progress because I haven't done anything. I haven't completed them yet. This needs review and this needs review. All these different sections need review. But if you go through it, and then, like I said, you could have a pretty decent handbook after it's all said and done. What's this one? Employee benefits. All this, adoption assistance. If you have all this, workers' compensation insurance, dental insurance, it'll ask you, do you have dental insurance? And then it'll say, okay, this is what we do for dental insurance and all these other things on here. So yeah, there we go. But all I need is, like I said, 15 to 20 minutes of your time generally, do a Teams meeting like this. And then that's the other thing too, because I do put you in as individual districts right now. So it'll say Michigan Association of Conservation Districts / Allegan, or Michigan Association Conservation Districts / Lenawee type of thing. And so each of you will have your own access to it. And then if you want another person in your office, if you're a larger office, you got a director, and then you have like an office manager, I can give you both access if you want that type of thing as well. And then you just get in here and play with it. Be honest with you, if you're looking for something in particular, search around. You may get some answers that may be different or maybe in a different area. And if you're having difficulty finding something, definitely let me know. I'll help you with that.
Joe, now that I'm seeing this handbook, we developed the handbook. It's in here. Do our staff have access? Does it go somewhere and then the staff can have access to it at all times? Or is that something we would have to download and give to them?
I think you may be able to download it, but it may be like in a PDF form, and then that way you can put it up on wherever you have employees access to it. You know what I mean? If you have
Right.
Like mine, with Fremont Insurance, I have to go to the Fremont's main, webpage, and here's your employee handbook type of thing. It'll be a PDF version. Let me hold on a second. Yeah, since these are both in progress. Yeah, you can download it, and then that would be a PDF file. Let me see what happens if I click on that. Yeah, there you go. And then you can download options, PDF or Word file, and then group by section or group by state. The section would be, all the different sections, and it would work out pretty good. Let me see what happens if I go.
I just didn't know if like each person, like since we have each employees have access, if they have like a section in there and we go here, this is the policy book in there. I was kind of also wondering about like directors, might that be a good way of communicating with them a lot easier?
Yeah, like I say, and the employees won't have access to this. It's only who I give access to it that should have access to it. Like the director or the office manager, but like the employees won't be able to dig in here. The only time they will be able to access anything would be the learning modules that you send to them via email.
Oh, okay. Nadine is asking, is this offered with any policies the districts have?
Not exactly sure what that means.
Let's say you only have, I think most everybody has like.
Yeah, let me help clarify. This is available to all districts or districts that have policies with you?
No, all districts. Don't we have them all? Joe, is he still on here or not? Probably not. He dropped off. Yeah. For the master policy is the Michigan Association of Conservation Districts. That's how we have it on our policy thing. So from my understanding, that's all the districts. If not, let me know. But I think those are all the state, whoever I guess whoever was a part of the conference that I went to in December, I'm assuming would have access to it or available. Yeah, definitely would have access to it. Why are you not one of the Michigan Association of Conservation Districts?
Well, thanks for asking, I guess. Technically, I am with MDARD, so I'm one of the regional coordinators that help and assist conservation districts. So I was just kind of asking to see if it's available to everyone. So you answered my question. Thank you.
Yeah. If not, then we could probably look into it. That's something Mr. Fisher will have to answer for me. But everyone else would have access. Yeah, all directors would have access to this. The availability to access, and like I said, it's not that difficult for me to hook you up with it. It's just a quick, like I said, 15-20 minutes. We do this. I put your information and as far as a user on our screen, and then because it's going to ask, and that's the other thing too. Once I put you in as access, all your information will be populated. So the address, I think I had Washtenaw County, and their address is like 700 North Zeeb Road in Ann Arbor. Well, any form or document that you access through here will already have your address in it, or telephone number, and that type of thing. So it'll say Michigan Association Conservation Districts / whatever county at the top, and then the address will be already pre-populated in it going forward.
Is there any other questions, or would anybody like to see anything else? No? No, sounds like you explained it all really well, Joe. So
yeah, no problem.
I think this can be an extremely helpful tool for us. I know when I was looking through it at the conference, my eyes kind of lit up and I went, oh, that'd be so helpful. So.
Yeah, like I said, this is the main landing page, and then Jay Johnson at fmic.com, or loss control at fmic.com are the two email addresses to get access, or to email me, and then I'll set up a Teams meeting at your convenience. Pretty wide open, to be honest with you. And then, here's a new one, string trimmer safety. That just got posted, last Friday, just kind of, I'm not sure if you guys are out there with weed whackers or whatever, conserving these districts. But, heat illness prevention, a lot of these things come up. You can print that out, post it up, or give it like a little toolbox talk in the morning, or send that to the employees. Say, hey, just be sure, keep an eye on other coworkers while working out there. And if you feel this, that, or that, get out of the sun, get some hydration going.
And Joe's email is in the chat. You guys, Brooke had asked me to pop that in there, so that is in the chat. So, well, I think, I think if nobody has any other questions, Joe, I really want to thank you for popping in and showing this to everybody and taking the time.
Excellent. Yep, no problem. Like I said, free of charge for you guys. And
we love free. We love free.
Right. And the video, and I stress that a lot, but I know it's not pretty applicable for you guys. There may be some videos in there that are pretty applicable for you. But when I deal with construction or manufacturing concerns, and I explain to them, I go, look, you're looking for safety videos. This is a learning management system. This alone is like $5,000 to $10,000 a year, just depending on the size of the workforce. And you guys are getting it for free, and they're pretty decent. They're standard safety videos. There's not any Oppenheimers or good movie type qualities to them, but they're pretty standard safety videos, and it gets the point across. So,
okay, well, thank you, everybody. I'll be sending the video to Brooke, and she'll be posting it up for everybody to have access to. And then, of course, get a hold of Joe. Run, don't walk, and get a hold of him. And thanks, everybody, for coming.
Have a good one. Have a great week and stay cool.
Thanks, Joe.